Hi, Perceptive Reader. This is James with the Sage Lifetimes. And to open this subject up, I can actually make a statement in two different ways. And the way I actually express it, I guarantee you, one will make you maybe just nod your head, and the other one can actually offend the person. But I'm going to give you these two statements in the first place. The first one is just because a person's imagination is somewhat misunderstood or out there, you see, it doesn't mean that they need to be labeled or diagnosed as if they're, unwell. And the other way of saying it is just because you may have a lack of imagination, it still doesn't mean that person who you're looking at who has an imagination, you see, is unstable or, something is wrong with them. And I stated that because I want you to think about this as well. You know, there are categories. Categories has now been synonymous with labels, and shame to say, even judgments of people and their personality, their activities, what they like, what they don't like. And if you do not fall into this different category, I'm going to say judgment or what have you, in those personality areas, life can be very difficult for such individuals to really get anything done. You can just look around for yourself and see that to be the case. So, with that being said, there are holy passages that actually still even talks about not being judgmental, and you can see why. And I'm going to share an example of exactly why this is the case. There was once a school teacher. School teacher was very young, within the first already only couple of so years, maybe out of college. This school teacher was sharp. I mean, was sharp in languages as well. Taught a language, but most likely could go over to Europe and talk all those other different dialects, maybe if she wanted to or what have you. Well, also was a very nice person, giving. All right. Now, in her classroom, she used to always, almost monthly or what have you, probably weekly or what have you, was always wearing something new. Was wearing something new, and sometimes it was, I guess you could look at it as being a little bit old fashioned. Sometimes you may look at it as if, woo, disco delight. You see what I'm saying? From the 70s. And so one time a person even wondered, boy, what store, and it was kind of like a backhand slap that the person made of talking about, well, what store or what have you that the person had bought their clothes from. And this went on. Well, it went on for more than a while in the class during the breaks in between tests and things when children just talk in class and things of that nature. But one thing, one day, the teacher came in and had a totally different outfit on. Still had a nice outfit on again. And so the question came up again about, where did you get this from or that from? And the teacher went on ahead and related her precious secret, her skill, you see, that she actually still had. Another skill other than just teaching. And it was actually into making clothing. And she related that she actually makes all or the majority of her clothing. And the way one student replied back, what was said, it was more along the lines of, yeah, it's obvious, but they said it in another way. And the whole class just fell out laughing, broke down, people falling out their desks. I'm supposed to be saying this like it's well. Anyway, people. The whole class just fell apart, and this young teacher, who I told you just had a uplifting, upbeat personality. Oh, that was one time. It was obvious her feelings was hurt very bad, very badly. And so all she did was just say is, you don't know what type of, it was more along the line again of financial responsibilities and funds and lack of funds and stuff, as far as why people, even make their clothes in that day and age, and other reasons. And so it was the financial situation. You could tell that the salary that she was still making just wasn't covering her whole family or what have you. Well, all the same, this is what I want to share with you. Some persons, looking back at those different outfits and styles, the creativity, the imagination of this teacher, came to this conclusion: that teacher wasn't drab, wasn't boring, wasn't old-fashioned, wasn't too disco or anything of that nature. With her foul and style and things of that nature, people would probably look at her today and from the time period and say she was just ahead of her time. So what? Her imagination was already ahead of her time. Her realizing what life was all about was certainly ahead of all those students in that classroom. And so even though a label, in this case, more of a judgmental clown or whatever you want to describe it as the way that she was being viewed, even around the class and outside the class, the label from the majority of those young-minded kids and students, you see, was nowhere near her understanding and the way her creativity and imagination actually was a benefit, not only a benefit to her family, but the benefit to people who were mature enough, you see, and respectful enough to see it. Take care.